Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. I am Root Beer King, and well, today we are going to Paul Ricard for, I believe, round 7 of, well, France. Unfortunately, Boothie is not in the commentary box yet. I have no idea if he's gonna join. If he isn't gonna join, we might get we actually might have Insane be up front today, or yeah, I'm just thinking of going solo. But yeah, I have no idea if Lo knows, or Boothie knows, but we're gonna have to just keep going. So yeah, Paul Ricard, not really the greatest of tracks that we've seen on the F1 calendar. Definitely not a very much of a far cry from Monza that we just were in around last week per se. So yes, please welcome all, welcome one, welcome all for Paul Ricard. This is the this is the 7th round. Good, I got that right. Neat. Including which France for the 6th of June. And then we shall have a break week on the 13th and the 20th of June, which shall be Brazil, and the final race of the season for XRL, X2. As we get started here in Paul Ricard, we begin first and foremost with the 3 qualifying sessions that, if you've been around here, well, you will know another one. So we also have some new faces in the XRL X2 scene. Now these are all three of these guys are X3 drivers, and I would like to welcome Mr. Anderson, Dave Ewart, and Kuliboy. Kuliboy? I honestly don't know how to say these names. I'm not Scottish. Okay, we got one Englishman in the face of Mr. Anderson, and then we got the 2 Scots. Apparently, we already have 2 faces in the chat. Neat. There we are. Hope everybody's having a good day. Also, I do have the stream up, and specifically to where I can see chat. So if you guys want to say anything, just go ahead and type it in chat. Specifically, most likely for the reason of, well, you know, my pronunciation errors. There are most likely going to be a lot of them. So yeah, Paul Ricard. Not really the most eventful track on the calendar. But hopefully we will be able to make it fairly entertaining for all of you at home nonetheless. I'm getting word now that it will be wet at the end of the race. So expect some rain. And that's your forecast, I guess, because of... Just look at those clouds overhead. As we now see what seems to be a Ferrari and a Haas car leaving the pits. We currently have 18 people currently on the roster. And as we see now, Careless Jackson coming out. And since Italy, these are the point scores. Wise still at... Okay, no, there's Wise right there in P2. With the points lead of around 207. Tootie right behind with... Or I wouldn't say right behind. I mean, this is a pretty big gap. Which is a 207, 179. Hang on, viewers, as I pull out the calculator. So we're seeing around a 28 points lead in front of between Y's Uter 85 and 2D. Then we have Waldo with 156, Danny JJ with 113, Trap Paulos. Oh, interesting. Okay. And the list goes on. Including with constructors. So far, Red Bull Racing is currently in the lead, followed by Haas, Mercedes, Scuderia AlphaTauri, Renault, Williams, Racing Point, McLaren, Scuderia Ferrari, and Alfa Romeo. So hopefully we will be seeing some fantastic laps today, including which may be an incredible fight for the lead. You see the Russian of BG Bullbeast. A very cloudy day at St. Paul Ricard, as BG Bullbeast goes a little slow. And anyways, as we continue through, so the first one that looks to be the next across the line is going to be Trap Paulos. And, oh wait, no, excuse me. No, excuse me, it's the, one of the, okay, there's Mr. Anderson right up top with a 129.185 with Cully Boy with a 129.880 right behind. There's Careless Jackson now with a 129.714. XRL Low with a 129.990. Trap Paulos now taking the pole with a 128.471. Dave Uart now with a 130.924. Very unfortunate for Mr. Anderson as he invalidates his lap time. XRL Edgar taking P3 with a 129.248. Oh, there he is. So, Boothie now joins me in the commentary box. Boothie, if you could please hook up your audio and say hello. Wise with on pole position now with a 126.618. There's now 12 minutes left in the session. Boothie now joins, and BG Bullbeast now with a 129.665. So how are you today, Boothie? Ah, gotcha. No, it's okay. I'm doing pretty good. How are you? as BG Bulbies now comes in. So far, the list for the top 3 goes on as follows. Wise Eater 85. No, excuse me. Now Tootie taking the pole with a 128.080. Wise right behind now with a 128.618. No, excuse me. It wasn't a 126. That would have been a little bit insane. Trapalos in P3 with a 128.4, or no, excuse me, a 128.7. And as so far, the only people who have not currently set a lap time are going to be Joe Pelly, Zola, Smooth, Jeebus John. Oh, it's nice to see Jeebus John finally racing with us again. Nice to see you here. XRL Torpedo, Young Maneuver, and Waldo. These are all the guys who have currently not set a lap time. So it's nice to see Jeebus John back with X2. And here comes Uter now with now a 128.059, taking that back the pole and snatching it back from Tootie. We have a little bit of a lead change there as Jeebus John now comes into the fray with XRL Low. Jeebus John setting a 129.909 and Low setting a 129.990 respectively. As Wise and Tootie now retire from the session, as they have locked themselves now up into the top 15. And so far, the only people who are currently on the chopping block are XRL Torpedo, Young Maneuver, and Waldo. They're going to be scrambling for lap times, or at least Torpedo is looking to do so. As we now right on board with Torpedo. As Waldo 2 starts his flying left. However, Torpedo will come across the line very soon. Now he goes through the last couple of corners and soon onto the final straightaway as he now enters and exits the final corner. Let's see what he gets. And he puts himself into P13 with a 130.371. Now Joe Pelly, Smooth, and Waldo are now all on the chopping block. Oh, Torpedo snatches P13 now with his 130.108. as Waldo now crosses, is about to cross the line as he exits the final corner. DRS on, and he gets himself into P3 with a 1:28.718. Now, the only two that have currently not now posted a lap time are going to be Joe Pelly and Smooth. Hopefully Logue and Zola can work something out together. Oh, and there's now Joe Pelly now in P3 taking Waldo's place with a 1:28.622. Now Smooth is the only one that currently has not have a lap time, but he is about to fairly soon, I would say. As he now goes through the long straight, however, he will be interrupted by the chicane as he now enters back onto the straight as he climbs up through the gears, 7th gear, and now to 8th. As he continues to go through completely flat through the beginning of sector 3. Sorry, we'll have to slow down because of this Shanghai corner. As he now enters the final corner at around 3 minutes. He gets his first lap time and puts him in P10 with a 1:29.600. So now Lowe is one spot off from the chopping block, where Young Maneuver, Torpedo, and Dave Duart lie. Now Waldo too retires. Same thing with Young Maneuver. Hello, TD. As we continue to see now Careless Jackson retiring, with so far the top 5 is as follows: Wise, Judy, Joe Pelly, Waldo, and Trap Palos. as we now enter around 17 seconds left in the session. Indeed. Pretty good for the rookie. With the only person that needs to that needs to go is BG Bullbeast, in which he will soon be coming around for the final time. As BG Bullbeast retires into the pits, we end Q1. As we exit now from Q1, here are all of the drivers. Wise up on pole with 2D right behind. Then followed by Llama, Joe Pelli, Waldo, Trap Palos, Low, Smooth, Mr. Anderson, Edgar, Zola, Carlos Jackson, Jeebus John, BG Bullbeast, and Dave are at 23. And we have Koei Boy, Young Maneuver, and Torpedo not moving on to the next round. Very unfortunate. So yeah, I think we have a decent race on our hands. As we now get raring to go in Q2. So with now around 14 minutes to go, the drivers start to get on their out laps to do their hot laps. Since we have some time on our hands, and I don't think Lopez wouldn't mind a little bit of the exposure, I would like to announce, as qualifying goes on, I would like to announce a new partnering league with XRL. This being Forza Motorsport 7, or the The partnered league being XRL US, this including which with the NASCAR series on Forza Motorsport 7. After the race, if you wish, DM me and I will send you the link to the Discord in DMs after the race. Including which, it is still in early development, so do not expect anything big, I suppose you could say. As yellow flags are now waved, as it seems that a Haas car was a little bit slow there. I think it was Trap Palos. As we now ride on board with Tootie. Indeed, with Uter also on mediums, it's continuing to stay a bit of a shootout between these two for the front. Careless Jackson setting the first lap time with a 1:30.488. Tootie now follows with a 1:29.450. Y is now with a 225, right behind Tootie. Llama as well with a 129.750. And Edgar in P4 with a 130.102. Next one's across the line is Dave Uart. Unfortunately, he has invalidated his lap time as Mr. Anderson gets locked into P4, pushing Edgar out of the way with a 129.389. As more and more cars get put their times on the board, we shall start to sift out the professionals from the wannabes. Well, to be fair, if you're up in X2, I mean, you've pretty much pulled it off. Tootie now striking back with his 128 point. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. 128.993. Oh. Why, what's Joe doing? Oh dear. Very unfortunate. And something interesting as we see this develop, as all of the medium compound drivers have all posted their lap times, while the softs currently have not, as yellow flags are once more called out for most likely a slow car passing, allowing other cars through.
Naves at a little spin in sector 3. Smoothie. Trying to get the run the medium dial, but I don't think they're gonna work for him.
As Smooth now gets up to P6 with a 130.051 as 7 minutes now elapses on the clock. Hope everybody's having a nice Sunday.
Flags for Smoothie I wouldn't wonder about. Low seems to be struggling. It'll be interesting to see if he can make any difference on his medium dial.
Excuse me. 2D is the first one to retire from the session, feeling very confident with his 128.993. Wise still behind and stays in the pits. The only people who are currently out are going to be Zola, Bullbeast, Waldo, Bullbeast, Waldo, Dave, Judas John, and Lowe. Zola allows Lowe by. We're now right on board with Lowe.
There a mistake from Lowe. Must be a very concerned.
Indeed, as the entire list goes as follows: Tudu, Wise, Waldo, Trapalos, Lama, Jopelli, Mr. Anderson, Smooth, Edgar, Lowe, Careless Jackson, Zola, Bullbeast, Dave, Jeebus John. With Dave and Jeebus John currently not having time.
The only way around, but they don't look comfortable with them.
Also, there's something wrong with the score because it only says Dave actually has medium time. Yeah, okay, there we go. As Dave sets his time, the last one who needs to set a lap time is going to be Jeebus John. As he now exits and enters through Sector 3. And he goes through the final couple of corners. as Waldo 2 retires from the session. Now the entire field running on mediums, as now we have 2 minutes left to go. Hello, chap.
Yeah, next we're on the soft on. We're gonna make it to Q3.
Oh dear. Yeah, the entire top 5 is now retired, as now the rest of the drivers shall be retiring in the pits, feeling satisfied with their times, and including which for the top 10 so far, Lowe, Careless Jackson, Zola, Dave, and Jeebus John look to do not look to be continuing on to Q3. So far, what do you think of qualifying so far, Boothie?
I think a few people are about to get knocked out by people on the soft tires. Zola and Jackson are on it. And that's a big issue for, very much an issue for Bull Beast and Edgar. Your mom Zola's Mr. Tom. Jackson's on P2 on the soft tire. Well, let's put Bulbies out since he retired. Well, that's gonna not good.
As now the clock ticks 0 here in Paul Ricard for Q2. As now there's only one person needing to go in order to finish off the session, and that being XRL Edgar. Oh, if only he pushed right there, he could have gotten a decent lap time, maybe be on the pole.
We've lost Bulbies, Lowe, Zola and Dave. And Jeebus John. It's unfortunate.
Indeed, very.
I'm surprised more people didn't go for the soft tire in the end.
Indeed, only the one person on softs is going to be... Was it Zola I saw?
Jackson. Zola didn't quite make it to the line in the end.
Careless. I see. As now we head on now to Q3. Paul Ricard. That's a lot of barking coming from your dog. Is the mailman out?
Not even my dog. There's my neighbor.
Ah, I see.
You've seen someone you don't like, basically.
So far,
Yeah.
folks, it seems that Wise will soon dominate once more, as he now comes out of the pits and to start his outlap. That's Careless Jackson up in front, or is that Careless? That was in fact Careless. So Careless Jackson so far up in front, warming up his tires. Wise right behind, followed by Joe Pelly, and followed by Tootie.
Who we got for bowling?
Yeah. So it's either going to be, place your bets now, Wise or Tootie on pole. What are we saying, chat?
Go for 2, but I think it'll be very cool. And 2 is up off the first sector between him and 1. And we're 48.9 through sector 2. We're gonna come down to the tricky third sector.
As we now have around 8 minutes left in the session. So far, Tootie is, or no, excuse me, Wise is the first one to set a lap time. And he sets on a pole with a 127.936. Right behind him, Careless Jackson with a 129.412. Tootie taking pole from Wise with a 127.886. And Lava taking P3 from Careless Jackson with a 128.560.
Joe, 28.1.
A very nice lap by Joe Pelly.
I think they'll probably lock out for the second road ball. There we go. 28.7.
We're starting to see some absolutely cracking times.
Yeah.
As now, Careless Jackson now comes into the pits.
Smooth is going to be the next one to follow. Doing an excellent lap so far. 48.9. Kind of went a bit wrong during the last sector. He's doing very well for them.
As now, too, Mr. Anderson goes into the pits. Now, Trap Palos is looking to make a decent impression for a lap time.
A nice exit on the last one.
As now, Trap Palos gets into P7 with a 128.876. So far, the entire grid looks as follows: Tootie, Wise, Joe Pelli, Waldo, Llama, Edgar, Trap Palos, Smooth, Careless Jackson, and Mr. Anderson. As now we clock down to around 4 minutes left.
One to the left of the pit. And I think he's going to have a couple of goes at it. Seven first up the one ten.
As Tootie goes back on for his outlap. The yellow flag being called in tiny parts. Tiny parts.
The whole the little Tootie covering. What is it on very seriously quick timing? Really getting the last one right. Smash that diamond into the ground. 27-7. The first.
Around 2 minutes left to go. At Paul Ricard, Wise stands on top with his 127.279, followed by Tootie closely behind with a 128.786, and then Joe Pelli in P3 with a 128.199.
Danger appears to be improving. He keeps this up, he'll be making his way to the third row of the group. now retired.
Interesting, very interesting. Trap Palos now securing his place in P7 with RB Llama's 128.560 overtaking him.
John 2D. 177. 175.
Absolutely a blisteringly quick lap time. Set by 2D. As now 14 seconds left in the session.
Water up the curb. Up the fifth. Jackson's invalidated, Long's invalidated. August now another comeback, and then we'll be a 10th down.
With all the drivers finishing up, we should be seeing hopefully Tootie and okay, yeah, there's so now only Tootie and Llama are to be the only two that are still out that are going to finish.
Both
And I
of them
see.
have been validated, so they ain't gonna be doing them up. That's your top 10 set really now.
Tootie letting, I believe, RB Llama by.
The end of Q3.
Mm-hmm. As qualifying comes to a close here in Paul Ricard, here are the standings as follows. Tootie taking pole position for Paul Ricard today. Followed by Wise close behind. Waldo, Joe Pelli, Smooth, Edgar Llama, Trapalos, Killer Jackson, and Mr. Anderson. Now I believe Mr. Anderson was in the last season with I can't remember his name. Beer Boost. There we go.
I'm not sure. Not sure if it's them or someone else. Right. 5-minute break time.
Yep.
I'm going to go get a drink and see if I can wake myself up.
As you're doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and I'll be right back, guys. But I just need to do something real quick. Hey, Chad, I'm back. Anybody talking in chat? I don't think Boothy's come back yet.
No.
Speak of the devil.
Got a drink. Flat out.
Oh, speaking of drinks, back in Monaco, after the race, Kimi said, "I'm having trouble with the drink."
Yeah, not again.
Not again. "18 seconds to go. 15, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you meet with us on the grid as we command lights out. 1 lights, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and it's lights out and away we go here at Paul Ricard. And here we go. So 2D up in front, followed by Wise, followed by Waldo, followed by Joe Pelli, who overtakes Waldo as the rest of the cars continue to go through cleanly as usual. Which we do. Oh! It's a Torpedo. Torpedo a little bit off sides there. However, he does get back on. Very unfortunate as all of the cars have a little bit of taps into each other as they go now through T3, T4, and now onto the straight. Oh! That's Smooth! Smooth now getting turned. Very unfortunate as a young maneuver as they continue to go through. Smooth, and a random person has indeed joined for some reason. So already we have had drama at the first lap with Uter taking the lead.
Long's lost 6 places. He's not had a good start. Aldo's lost a lot of places as well. I'm wondering if that happened between the pair of them.
Yeah, most likely it did. Smooth losing 13 positions. Very unfortunate. Including which Waldo, who was actually around the top 3, is now lost to now around 8 positions. As all of the cars now go around for the second lap. Wise setting the fastest lap with a 1:39.901, I think.
Trying to break the DRS before the end of the lap. Oh, is it gonna be a pain in the arse?
I feel like it's kind of hard to see of what's going on in the action because of, you know, how Paul Ricard is.
Also doesn't help that Codemasters has some weird camera angles.
Oh dear, Low, all sorts of ways, as Low is now in the back of the grid. As we now see Wise continuing to lead the train of cars as they continue to go through now Sector 3 for the second time.
Zola's closing in on Powell. On the soft line. Interesting to see how long they last.
And here comes Wise now through the third time, followed by Tootie, followed by Joe Pelli, followed by Edgar, followed by Trap Paulos, followed by Carlos Jackson, Bold Beast, Anderson, Waldo, Llama, Toy Boy, Travis John, Young Maneuver, Torpedo, Dave, Zola, Smooth, and Low. Who now has a 23-second gap between himself and Smooth. RB Llama getting the first penalty.
Zola was doing so well. He was up behind Powell. And he just dropped it in the last corner. All the way to the back of the grid, unfortunately. Truly managed to stay in DRS range of one.
And here's the what tires everybody is on. Top 3 out of 27. As we now look through some of the battles here at Paul Ricard, we have Waldo. Waldo now being the first one to go into the pits.
Williams lost the chunk of the win.
With the now continuous train, as Waldo now gets relegated to P16.
And the grid's closing in on Jackson. And they're getting DRS down the street.
But for right now, up in the front, Tootie needs a miracle. If he can somehow close the 28-second or the 28 place get or 28-point gap between himself and Wise, he'll be set up to win the championship if he can continue to keep that consistency. If Wise has some form of an absence again. Also low and also getting a 3-second time penalty. As we continue to look down through the grid, so far everybody lines up in formal order. Yep. Everybody in pretty much just a perfect line. Wise, Uter now starting to with his 132.008, I want to say. With all the cars continuing to go through now. Now lap 5 out of 27. BG Bulbies now with a 3-second time penalty.
What an absolute bunch of nonsense that was here was on the track.
Yeah, welcome to Codemasters. Welcome to F1 2020.
It wasn't even slightly off the track, it was literally on the curve.
Yeah, hopefully they'll be able to fix that in F1 2021. So far the game is in early release, and I believe we'll be releasing in around this or next month. From what I saw, Young Maneuver was all over the place, or at least from the from where Cully Boy was. Oh no, excuse me, it was Cully Boy.
Lowe's retired. He's not had a good day.
Oh dear. Already in the first 5 laps, Lowe retires. Very unfortunate.
Shame to see him give up so early. Before he really can be a safety car anymore.
Yeah. That's odd. His own driver is going back out on track.
Zola's about to make a place up. Or was and then randomly back out.
I don't know why it does this, because the driver is already left. Zola now gets a 3-second time penalty.
They're fighting Lowe's car is a stupid thing. Here comes Edgar and Jackson. Not the DRS.
XRL Edgar right behind Careless Jackson as they now exit the chicane. Edgar trying to find some form of... There he is! Edgar goes on the inside and overtakes Careless Jackson for P5.
I always enjoy watching Careless Jackson because he never seems to be the fastest, yet he always appears in the top 5 because everyone else makes mistakes.
Indeed, he's very much like an Alan Prost or an Alan Kowicki.
Keeps it clean and tidy while everyone goes off around.
Speaking of which, do we have any news on Linnea? Or has he left the X2?
And being banned for the rest of the season.
Oh, wow.
That was...
And if you're wondering why the ban, just look at XRL X2 for Mexico, and you'll see exactly why. However, unlike in Mexico, Wise is very much up front, and now has a 1.6, now I believe 1.8 second lead from Judy now.
A lovely DRS train fight going on in the midfield between Bullbeast, Anderson and Lama.
Oh, indeed, a three-way fight. As Bullbeast tries to hold on, Mr. Anderson tries to look some way, inside, outside. As Bullbeast makes a mistake, he goes too far on the corner, but he still holds his line and maintains P7. Mr. Anderson continues having to fight for the position, as he also has to look back and see what RB Llama is doing. In the meantime, Careless Jackson and Edgar exchange places as Careless Jackson now goes into the pits. BG Bullbeast still trying to defend from Mr. Anderson, as Anderson now goes on the inside and overtakes Bullbeast for P6. However, Bullbeast comes immediately back, right on his rear, right on his rear diffuser. As Mr. Anderson and Bullbeast, and of course RB Llama right behind, both of them pretty much just popcorn and soda in hand, just watching the show. As they continue to have this very much a bit of a scrap together. Besides that, pretty much everybody else is pretty spread out. As BG Bullbeast once more overtakes Mr. Anderson on the inside of the chicane. Anderson looking for a way back, and RB Llama following close behind.
Young maneuvers either from on Torpedo and their own DRS train as well.
Indeed they are. It's very much a war of attrition with X2. It's pretty much a game of chicken. And the entire art of a game of chicken is knowing when to flinch. And which usually costs you the win if you don't play it right. However, Young Maneuvers continues to, he goes into the pits. Torpedo now looks onward to Jeebus John, looking for an overtaking opportunity. BG Bullbeast and Anderson continuing to fight out on T1 through T2. As Mr. Anderson now gets a 3-second time penalty for some reason.
Interesting to see if Jeebus John and Torpedo are always on the back end of their DRS point.
Oh, and Cully Boy now joins the DRS war between Jeebus John and Torpedo, or at least a little bit, as he now is. Actually, hang on, let me go ahead and interval. Okay, there we go. So around 1.2 point. So, oh wow, Smooth overtaking Cully Boy, driving on the inside through the chicane, and it looks like Smooth will be trying to help his teammate, Jeebus John, with the fight against Torpedo. In the meantime, BG Bullbeast, Mr. Anderson, and RV Llama continuing to fight for P6, excuse me. So P6, and so far Mr. Anderson nearly having to give up his spot for RB Llama, but does not do so. As besides the two fights that are going on right now in the midfield, pretty much everybody else is just spread out like some strawberry jam. BG Bulby is now for some reason getting a 3-second time penalty. Same thing with Torpedo. I don't understand why these guys are getting these penalties.
This code master is stupid.
Waldo now with a 3-second time penalty. Anderson trying to block BG Bullbeast, but having to let him go as BG Bullbeast overtakes Mr. Anderson as a little bit of tire lock up there as Bullbeast, Anderson, and Llama following close behind exits the chicane. As well as Jeebus John and Torpedo look on from afar as they continue to have their own little fight.
They're starting to close on in on the fight ahead of us.
Young Maneuver and Zola having a bit of a fight of their own at the exit. A full side-by-side action. Young Maneuver so far in P16, looking for a way to get past the Scarlet Red Ferrari. But so far, he does not see a gap. RB Llama now up in front now as RB Llama goes into the pits. BG Bullbeast and Anderson continue to fight.
Young Maneuver bullied his way past him. The Llama's pitted.
Indeed.
Quite early.
So far, all 18 drivers are as follows. Wise, Tootie, Jopelli, Trap Palos, Edgar, Anderson, Bullbeast, Jeebus John, Torpedo, Cully, Careless, Waldo, Llama, Young Maneuver, Zola, Dave, Smooth, and Lowe, who is unfortunately conked out. And the entire field, or nearly the entire field, is running on mediums, whilst Waldo, Careless Jackson, and RB Llama, and Smooth run on hards.
Torpedoes on the rear end of Jeebus John.
Indeed, he is the papaya orange McLaren filling up the Alfa Romeo's mirrors. As Torpedo now looks inside, outside, and inside again, looking for some form of way to get past Jeebus John. Oh, he's trying to use his kinetic energy to see if that alone can't get him by, but that does not seem to be the case. Lap 12 already off 27, as BG Bullbeast and Mr. Anderson both swap. BG Bullbeast going on to the hards. And same thing for Mr. Anderson. Now lap 12 out of 27.
Llama's jumped in the middle of them.
Oh dear.
So he's managed to undercut Anderson.
So now 15 laps to go.
A 5-way DRS frame. All the way from Bullbeast to Zola. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah, indeed. as a young maneuver now has to watch it between Mr. Anderson and now Zola that enters their own fight as Mr. Anderson and that was a near contact situation between young maneuver and Mr. Anderson as Zola now tries to take advantage of the exit of the chicane. Young maneuver, knowing that Anderson's going to try to send it, does not let him through. As we look on, BG Bullbeast and RB Llama having their own fight. RB Llama so far in front, young maneuver, BG Bullbeast right behind as they now enter through the final couple of corners and onto the home stretch to start their 13th lap. As Cully Boy and Jeevish John swap for now, I believe, hard compound tires, either that or mediums or softs, like Jeevish John is doing. In the meantime, Careless Jackson and Waldo are having a little bit of a fight of their own as they now enter through the straight, and indeed, that is what is happening, Sasha. Y is currently leading. Nobody stopping him with now 4-second interval between himself and Tootie as now he pits. 6 seconds now. 5, 3, 2, as Tootie now overtakes Wise as he now swaps for hards. RB Llama looking for an overtaking opportunity on Edgar. But that does not look to be the case. Jeevish John and Zola having a little bit of a fight of their own as Cully Boy now gets a 3-second time penalty. Zola and Jeebus continuing to fight. It's an entire midfield battle between everybody against everybody as now Torpedo goes into the pits.
Midfield closes right up.
Now lap 14 out of 27, the halfway mark for the Grand Prix at Paul Ricard.
Anderson's lost a lot of fair chunk of time stuck behind young maneuver. It'll be interesting to see if he can catch up to the DRS screen again.
Oh, here comes Waldo on the inside of Careless Jackson. Oh, as they both break pretty late through to the hairpin. Or no, excuse me, not the hairpin, the chicane. Careless Jackson now looking on the outside of Waldo as Waldo slams it on him. 17 seconds now up in front separates Wise from Tootie. However, Wise will most likely be absolutely gunning it through the next couple of laps as now Wise overtakes Tootie as Tootie pits, yeah.
Even you're on the soft tire for them.
It would give him an advantage, but for less tire life and expense. Mr. Anderson trying to seeing the Alfa Romeo fill up his mirrors as the Williams looks to continue to play blocking back pretty much on Jeevish John. Jeevish John being a little bit relentless and trying to find a way past him.
Problem Jeevish John has got is that he hasn't figured out how to turn the ERS off. So he's got 0.
Here comes John as now he goes through and out of the chicane now. P10. As Tootie now overtakes Joe Pelly for P2. And suddenly, the gap starts increasing very quickly between Tootie and Joe Pelly. So we now get this brilliant helicopter shot. As we now see the P1 and P2 cars now going in through the chicane. And 2D now being back on the hunt for Wise. 5.7 seconds in front of 2D. So far, I see another battle brewing between Edgar and Llama once more, as Llama looks maybe for a potential overtaking strategy. Edgar having a little bit of struggling time with Llama continuing to follow. Wise now with a 132.419, setting the fastest lap of the race. 10 laps to go.
He needs to close in, otherwise Wise wrapped up the title today, I think.
Especially it'll be extremely tricky with now near 6 second gap between himself and Tootie.
Almost finally got Edgar.
Yeah. Edgar getting also a 3-second time penalty. Codemasters is just ruthless in this game.
Hopefully we'll see a change next year, whether it's Codemasters or XRL in the form. When there's so many time penalties that are given out and literally none of them have actually left the track.
A little battle between Jeevish John and BG Bullbeast. Bruce as Anderson watches. And right behind Anderson being Young Maneuver and Zola. Wise setting another fastest lap. With around now 9 laps to go.
Zola can get past Young Maneuver.
Well, so far, Wise continues to climb away with the gap between them being 6.3 seconds. In climbing.
To be clouding over.
Here's John overtaking Bullbeast now.
Zola and Young Maneuver. And Zola him up the arm. Doesn't appear to have taken any damage.
Bullbeast overtakes back of Jeevish John as they now go side by side until the beginning of T3. Beast overtaking John.
Brief to do it through there because it was enough cam before where it throws you to the outside whether you like it or not.
A little bit of brake lock there by BG Bullbeast as they now enter the final corner.
Mr. Anderson's made up the gap. He's come into play again.
Yeah, it's pretty much saying, hey guys, what's going on here?
Smooth cruising along the young winning.
And Grim Llama still having their fight.
Fights all the way through the field at this point.
Yeah,
They would have hit young maneuver again. And it's starting to rain.
Oh, is it? Oh, yes it is. Yeah. There's rain droplets. It's raining here on the 6th of June and...
It'll be fun.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll
I
all
thought
have
it was getting dark.
Yeah, I was wondering when the rain was going to come. And here it is. Talk about a very late cameo appearance. With around now 7 laps to go, most of these guys will most likely pit for wets, or at least intermediates.
Imagine Void will probably not happy.
Gully Boy is the first to pit.
We saw what happened in the rain last time with Void. They seemed to have a bit of an issue with it.
Don't know what's going on with the Haas team, taking a little bit of while. I was at least around like 7 seconds.
Yeah, might have a time penalty. Normally up miles ahead again.
As well as a battle between Young Maneuver and Zola.
I get on you if you only want to put in soft tone. I thought it was strange that he went for them. Or he actually read the weather forecast on my cup.
Lap 21 hours 27, 6 laps to go.
Jeebus in with a pit lane.
The rain continues to pour down on the cameras. The cars continue to consistently go through. Nearly all of them are on hards, with Young Maneuver and Zola still on their mediums, as now Jeebus John joins Dave and Cully for the intermediate party.
And the llama on Edgar again. A lazy way to know crossover time during the minutes is when the FIA turn off the DRS on the clock.
True.
Well, that's how lazy Codemasters were. Spinner. Second power. And Folly Boy. spinning now.
Hmm.
Only boy says, hold over to the side to let people go.
Yeah. Oh, yellow flag situation. It looks to be a Alfa Romeo. It is of Jesus John.
Box too early.
Sounds like to me he did something like the Ultimate did in Mexico last season.
The rest is still enabled, so it's still too soon.
Yep, 22 out of 27. Around top 9 to top 10. Continuing to stay on dry compound tires. There's another yellow flag. Oh,
Horrible.
it's RB Llama who spins.
And yeah. Japanese is going for the pit lane.
Smart decision has now 4 laps left to go here at St. Paul Ricard.
Maybe they are disabled. Only told them to pit, lads.
As now nearly the entire grid, except Trap Palos, Tootie, and Wise, have pitted for intermediates.
This may come back to bite them in the arse. Not careful.
There is potential, but so far, Wise continues to go fairly slowly, trudging through the wet. Now Wise goes into the pits. Most likely soon followed by Tootie, and then followed by Trapalos. Yep. Now the entire grid catches up to the top 3. All of them do a last-minute swap to the intermediates.
Paolo is about to get jumped by Drew Penny. Equivalent. No,
Wise comes up first. Joe Pelli closely following behind. However, Wise...
The Tootie.
Tootie just got, is now like turn 3, pretty much right after Japelli. And it looks to be another car. Looks to be another car round. I think it was one of the McLarens.
It's torpedo.
Very unfortunate. 3 laps to go. As Wise continues to look to lead this race to the finish.
Joe usually quite likes the rain. It'll be interesting to see if he closes in on one.
Yeah, all kinds of rain is now pouring onto the onto the cameras.
Horrible weather for a terrible circuit. I'll let that one liven it up a bit.
Yeah. Now we look onto the rear of the grid with a battle between Jeebus John and Torpedo for P15. Jeebus John still defending. Oh no! Torpedo spins! The McLaren now
Indeed.
facing the wrong direction as he now gets back onto the circuit.
Kingsley Rapson flogging along in sixth as usual.
So yeah, so it looks to be that Wise will indeed win this race. However, Joe Pelly is right on his heels if he makes a mistake.
Should wrap up the championship. For one.
Yeah, pretty much. Also, so sorry if you're trying to say something on Twitch. Twitch is being a little bit buggy right now, so... Okay, there we go. Chat has been reopened. I can now officially see your chats. Now, with us going now onto the penultimate lap of the French Grand Prix here at St. Paul Ricard as the rain starts coming down.
Everyone appears to have settled for where they are at this point.
Yeah, pretty much. There's not a lot of battles happening now.
You got Llama.
It looks to be that way, Sasha. Yeah, with the 28 points lead that Wise has over 2D, and with 2D looking to come in P3, it does look to be that Wise has the championship in the bag.
So we'll keep it on the track for the next lap in a bit. What's the yellow car? Llama.
Oh dear.
Fifth and the wrong way. Oh, Llama.
Indeed. As we now come on to the final lap. One lap to go in the French Grand Prix. As we now look on board from Wise as he now defends from Joe Pelly.
No, very close to him. I'll be honest, if I was Wally, I'd probably just let Joe have it at this point and wrap the title up.
Yeah. But I think
No
Wise
point
still wants this win.
I doubt he'll want the win. Well, you can wrap the title up, yeah.
So let's
Get it
think.
done.
If Wise... Has Wise won every race? Except Italy, because, you know, absence?
Do not know. No, look. No.
As we enter now through the final corners for the final time. Wise looks to take it home from Mercedes Petronas as he now enters and exits the final corners. And Wise wins the French Grand Prix at Paul Ricard, followed by Joe Pelli close behind. Tui now coming home, P3. Trap Palos is the next one to go through now as he enters the final corner, P4. He will come home. Next is XRL Waldo in P5. P6 so far looks like to be a little bit of a fight between Kalis Jackson and Edgar. As Kalis Jackson now crosses the line, same thing with Edgar. Bullbeast also crossing the line, P8. Next is XRO, or Mr. Anderson. Anderson getting a P8 from Bullbeast because of penalties. Smooth letting Zola letting Smooth by to take P10. Very interesting. Young Maneuver taking P11 even from Zola because of penalties. And Cully Boy being around 25, and yeah, the laps back, they go into the checker respectively. And with Dave and Jeebish John, now all that's left is Torpedo to cross the line as he now enters and exits the corner for the final time. He will come home P15 at St. Paul Ricard. And there he is. Wise Uters, your winner for the French GP. Driver of the day being Young Maneuver. As there's Wise on the grandstands with Joe Pelli and Tootie as they now spray champagne down on the crowd. Another victory for the dominating Romanian.
We can get him to come have a chat.
So yeah, here are the race results. Wise Uter taking it home at Paul Ricard, followed by Joe Pelli, Tootie, Trap Paulos, Waldo, Careless Jackson, Edgar, Mr. Anderson, BG Bullbeast, Smooth, Young Maneuver, Zola, Dave, Jeebish John, Torpedo, Llama, and Cully Boy, with Lowe unfortunately retiring from the session. All in all, a fairly uneventful race.
Not the DRS already.
Yeah, the DRS Wars was something.
It certainly made that interesting.
Oh yeah, yeah, sorry Sasha. Yeah, Wise slipped from our grasp again.
Yeah, and disappeared and run away from us already. Well, that was fun once I finally woke up. See you in a couple of weeks, presumably.
Indeed. Yeah, so that will be it for Paul Ricard, the French Grand Prix, June the 6th, 2021. Is there anything that you want to say before I close this thing out, Boothie?
Mainly just for Codemasters to sort their track limit shit out, to be honest.
I couldn't agree more. Oh, it's nice to hear from you again, Boothie. And hopefully, oh, there we go. So yes, that'll be it for the French GP. I hope you all have enjoyed this GP, and if you have, please smash the like button, subscribe, and indeed follow us on Twitch and YouTube. Like the video if you did watch this in post, as well as comment on what you think. Who do you think will see if they can battle against Wise? Indeed, share it with your friends, and do all the stuff, and including which tap the bell icon for not this week, not next week, because that'll be June the 12th, or no, excuse me, June 13th, and then next week after that we will be going to Brazil for the final time for the end of the season. Also, remember to tune in to XRL, or Extreme Racing Leagues, on the 12th of June for the exhibition match of XRL US. But in any case, we hope you've all enjoyed the broadcast, and yeah, we'll see